Konnichiwa minasan, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Reina Scully, coming to you from Japan, where I miss so many things from the States. So normally I go back to the US a few times a year for work, and that's when I get to enjoy everything that I can't get here in Japan. But obviously because of the coronavirus, I can't go this year, which makes me miss these particularly American things so much more. So I thought I'd compile a list of 100 things I miss from the US. But before I begin, I first wanted to thank Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Surfshark is my absolute favorite VPN service. It is astonishingly affordable and keeps me safe. It encrypts my personal information so I don't have to worry about anyone trying to access my data, which is especially important whenever you're using public Wi-Fi. Plus, you won't get targeted ads because Surfshark will protect you from the internet eavesdropping on you, and your information will not be used against you, something I am very afraid of. But the best part, it allows you to access movies and TV shows on Netflix and other streaming services that aren't normally available in your area. All you have to do is set your region to a different location, and voila, everything from that location will populate on your list. For example, in Japan, The Office is not available, but if you set your region to Los Angeles, you can now watch The Office while in Japan. And if you want to watch Ghibli movies, all you have to do is set your location to Australia, and now you can watch all these Ghibli movies. Watching reruns of sitcoms have really been helping me with my America fix, so yet another reason why I'm so thankful to be using Surfshark. I clearly can't recommend them enough, especially because they have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it out risk-free, see if you love it. I feel like you will. Click the link in my description and use my promo code Reina Scully to get 85% off and an extra 3 months for free. Now, without further ado, here's my list of 100 things I miss from the US. Friends and family go without saying, so that's not really going to be on this list. I'm going to start with all the food I miss because that is the most important to me. Pizza! I miss pizza. Casual pizza, like just being able to get a slice or a whole freaking pie just straight delivered to your house. I miss it so much. Speaking of pizza, I miss ZD pizza. Everything bagels, and speaking of everything bagels, Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel. I know we probably had this discussion on Instagram or wherever, but I'm from North Jersey, so we call it Taylor ham. I know it's like pork roll. I can't say pork roll really well, so it's Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. Pop-Tarts, those disturbingly sweet Pop-Tarts. They don't exist here in Japan. I can't find them anywhere. Since we're going breakfast foods, I miss American cereal. There's only granola type of cereal here, which is okay. It's actually very tasty, but I miss Honey Nut Cheerios and Cinnamon Toast Crunch and even Apple Jacks. I friggin' miss McGriddles. It's been 9 months since I've had a McGriddle. Are you kidding me? All right, so Japanese McDonald's is phenomenal, and there are lots of things on our menu that isn't available in the US, and overall, I do think I prefer Japanese McDonald's because it's always delicious and it doesn't give me horrible fiery diarrhea. However, we don't have McGriddles. Why? So stupid. Speaking of McGriddles, breakfast sausages aren't really a thing here. You know how breakfast sausages have a lot of seasoning and spices in them and they taste very specific? I miss that. Bacon. I know I talked about it in my previous video, but there's no bacon here in Japan. That greasy, crispy, salty bacon. They have bacon here, which is just strips of ham cut differently. That's not bacon. Buffalo wings. I miss places like Wingstop where you can just get a crap load of buffalo wings and have them be different flavors. Oh. Mozzarella sticks and marinara sauce. Oh my God, I would kill somebody for that right now. I really miss whole grain or multigrain bread. There's only milk bread here, which is so delicious and soft and fluffy, but I want hearty, grainy bread. Girl Scout cookies. Obviously, there are no Girl Scout cookies in Japan. I really specifically miss Samoas. Is that what they're called? The coconut ones with the chocolate drizzle and caramel? Oh, Swiss cheese. I haven't found any Swiss cheese here in Japan. And there are specialty stores or like international markets or whatever here in Japan where you can venture off and probably find really good cheeses, but they are not common and very expensive. So I just miss casual slices of Swiss cheese. I also miss turkey deli meat. There's no turkey here. I don't know why. I guess we don't raise and eat turkey here. There's a lot of chicken, but even chicken deli meat doesn't really exist. It's all ham. Everything is ham. Sweet potato fries. I have not encountered sweet potato fries in Japan. Frozen yogurt, like Menchie's. Oh my God, I miss doing that so much. I used to do it a lot in LA. Like we would just have dinner and then go out for some froyo. Oh, vegan Asian fusion food, which I know is very bizarre. But I miss this place in the valley called Vin Loi Tofu, where it was like a vegan Vietnamese place. And it was so delicious. And like, I miss food that involves tempeh and different textured tofu to make like fake meat and stuff. I really, really miss that. Again, I know this is because I specifically live in the country. I'm sure there are many places like that in Tokyo, but again, it's probably expensive. This is a big one. Tacos. I don't know why that wasn't like number one. I'm not sure why I said pizza, but tacos are something I miss so much. You can make tacos here, like they have seasoning and you could just like mix it into ground beef or chicken and make it, but I miss al pastor. There's no spices here that can create that al pastor flavor, that really specific, delicious, sweet, spicy, tangy al pastor taco flavor. Oh my God, I want it so badly. Moving on, I miss Beasley, which are these Israeli wheat snacks, and I really loved the pizza flavored ones. Oh my God, they're so good. Obviously you can't get them here. I miss spinach and artichoke dip. I haven't come across that. Hummus. I ate hummus so much in LA. I don't understand how I'm living life without hummus right now, but there's like no hummus. I bought like 3 cans of chickpeas and I made homemade hummus, which was like okay, but it just doesn't compare to being able to buy like a $2 thing of hummus and just eating the whole thing in one sitting. I really miss champagne. I miss Corbel champagne. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's also like a countryside thing, but champagne here is so expensive and you generally only get it when there's like a big celebration. So what I really miss is mimosas. I miss orange juice with pulp. Everything is so silky smooth here to a point where I'm starting to think that it's like very artificial. There's no orange juice with pulp. Hot Pockets. And salsa. I have not seen salsa. Hot sauce. They don't have hot sauce here. They obviously have like hot oil and Asian hot sauces, but this is what I'm talking about. This is the Hot Ones classic hot sauce. I miss this type of flavor, this kind of like vinegary, spicy, not too spicy, mostly flavorful hot sauce. I've been rationing this, like there's only this much left because I obviously can't go back and get more. It's killing me. I already ate the whole bottle of the Los Calientes one because I've been making like my fake tacos, my fake Japanese tacos. But yeah, I miss this. Flaming hot Cheetos. This is a big one. I used to eat it like twice, 3 times a week. It's too much. But yeah, it's true. I ate it a lot. I miss it so much. I am surprised, but I miss boxed mac and cheese. I miss powdered cheese. So I don't drink a lot of soda, but I deeply miss the Canada Dry green tea ginger ale. Obviously, you can't get it anywhere here in Japan. Actually, you can't get it everywhere in the US either, which is why it makes it so special. LaCroix flavored seltzer water. LaCroix is how you pronounce it, right? Pita bread. Where's the pita bread? Empanadas. Oh, nice, hot, soft mall pretzels. This is another one I mentioned in the previous video, but I miss like Wetzel's pretzels. Morningstar veggie buffalo nuggets. I know they sound kind of weird, but I swear to you, they're so delicious. Give it a damn try. Waffle fries and tater tots. I haven't seen either of those here. Although Japan has delicious short grain, white rice, and brown rice. There is no wild rice, and I miss it a lot. I miss long grain rice. I badly miss chili and cornbread. I haven't come across it. I'm sure they exist somewhere. Can't find it. All right, let's talk some seasonal stuff. I miss those giant tin cans that are filled with popcorn that you get during Christmas. There's usually, I think, cheddar, caramel, and regular or plain flavored popcorn, and you like mix them all up and stuff them in your mouth and you get different flavors. Speaking of seasonal, I miss pumpkin spice shit. I did not appreciate this when I was in the US. In fact, I was kind of annoyed by it, but now that I don't have it, I miss it so badly. Like, how do I know what season it is? I really miss Thai takeout food. There's obviously Thai restaurants here in Japan, but you generally can't take them to go. And it's a little bit different here. I miss the kind we used to get in both New Jersey and LA. Pad see ew, pad kimao, tom yum ka. And finally, for food, I miss Chinese takeout, an American classic. I so badly miss barbecue spare ribs, pork fried rice, chicken lo mein, egg drop wonton soup, sesame chicken, General Tso's chicken. All right, now let's move on to things I miss, not food. I miss speaking English. I really, really do. This next one I'm really feeling right now because it's summer and it's hot as balls. I miss central air. There's no central air here. All air conditioning units are like installed in your walls, and if your house doesn't already come with one, you have to get construction done on your house, and it's not even central air. This next one's gonna sound a little weird, but I miss accurate weather predictions. So Japan is an island country, and we live close to one of the coasts, so the weather is never ever accurate. Like, they'll say it's gonna rain on Monday, but it'll clear up by Tuesday, and on Wednesday it'll be cloudy. That is not how it plays out whatsoever. It's like 3 straight days of rain. And this is specifically important because we don't have dryers in Japan. We dry our clothes outside naturally in the air. So I also miss dryers. And speaking of weather and dryers, I miss LA weather specifically. It is so unmatched to have every single day be bright and sunny and like 70 something degrees. In the winter, it doesn't get colder than 50. You barely need a jacket. You need a jacket, but speaking of beautiful, perfect LA weather, I miss the beaches in LA. Zuma Beach is one we went to all the time near Malibu. It was so nice. I miss measuring stuff in Fahrenheit. Everything is Celsius here, and you do get used to it, but Fahrenheit is a smaller metric, so it's more specific, and I miss it. Driving on the right side of the road. So our steering wheel is on the right side, but we drive on the left side. And it's actually pretty easy to get used to, but I miss driving on the right side. That's how I learned how to drive. Speaking of driving, I miss turning right on reds. I don't know if this is the case in your state, but in New Jersey and LA, you're allowed to turn right at a red light, unless it says no turn on red, obviously. The Pacific Coast Highway. It is one of the most beautiful roads you could ever drive on, and the view just absolutely doesn't compare. Speaking of PCH, I miss really big, long, multi-lane highways and freeways. I think I miss the ones in New Jersey more, like the Garden State Parkway, mainly because it reminds me of going to Rutgers. And missing highways leads me to missing road trips. American road trips are so different, and they feel very, very adventurous. It's just not the same here. And yet another highway thing I miss, cheap tolls. Tolls are crazy expensive here. The highways are nice and clean, but again, they're narrow and they're so expensive. I live in the more east side of Shizuoka, and to get to central Shizuoka, it costs like $30, $40 one way. Radio stations! I don't really like music, but I think I miss listening to the radio or just being able to put it on. I miss Z100 purely for nostalgia, and I miss K-Rock from LA, 106.7. Another unit of measure I miss is blocks. Telling somebody something is 4 blocks that way. You can't do that here. And I guess I do miss miles, mainly because I'm just used to it. And I also miss measuring in pounds. This is the same thing as like the Fahrenheit example, but pounds are a smaller unit than kilograms. So A, I'm used to it, but also B, it's more specific. So this is a little hard to describe, but I miss dining at restaurants in the US. There's something romantic and special about going to a restaurant in America. And in Japan, although the food is incredible here and the service is wonderful, it's very sterile and it's very practical, which is okay, but it's missing this like really atmospheric, romantic sense. I can't really put my finger on it, but I feel like anybody who's lived in Japan for a long time knows what I'm talking about. So this is another thing that's a little bit difficult to describe because it's a feeling, but I miss having this sense of freedom in the US. And I do think it comes from the fact that I live in the same small town as my whole family now. So I'm very careful about how I behave, and I'm very proper, and I try to be quite formal because I don't know what's going to get back to my family and I don't want to shame them. But even regardless of that whole minding my family aspect, I feel very judged here, probably because of my hair, because of my makeup, because I have a white husband. But in the US, I don't really feel nearly as judged. People always stare at me here in Japan, so I miss that sense of freedom. And on that note, I miss being able to go out in lazy lounge clothing or like sweatpants. I never went out super sloppy or anything like that, but I was definitely more comfortable being casual. Whereas here, nobody dresses like that, even in the countryside. Like if you go out even just to the pharmacy or the grocery store, people are like wearing nice clothes and nice shoes, and they have like a brand bag. It's kind of odd, and like their hair is done and they like do their makeup even though they're just going right down the street a couple blocks over. I'm just being sloppy, okay? So this is actually classically American, but I miss huge backyard barbecues and parties. There aren't many backyards here in Japan. Lots of people live in apartments, and you generally try to keep the noise level down for your neighbors. So I miss those like really fun, rowdy barbecue parties. And pool parties. Nobody has a pool in Japan. Obviously, nobody even has a yard. Pool parties were the best, like at someone's house, at your friend's house. This may come as a surprise, but there are no big ovens in Japanese households. No one in my family has one in their house. We have like a stove, and you could buy a toaster oven, and the stove usually has this like fish grilling area, but no big oven. So I don't know how we're all baking cakes or cookies. Speaking of household appliances, I miss having a garbage disposal in the sink. Like, how crazy is that and dangerous? But that doesn't exist here. We're very diligent about how we throw out garbage, which is fine, but I miss just being able to hit a button and watch all the trash just go straight down the drain. There are also no dishwashers here. I just miss being lazy, okay? I really miss American malls in general, not just because of their soft pretzels, but specifically I miss Garden State Plaza. I really miss the Glendale Galleria and the Americana, and I also really miss the Topanga Mall. I visited those so often. Coffee Bean. So I should at least thank God that there is a Starbucks here, but I loved Coffee Bean, and I was so dependent on it, so I really miss that. I miss Sephora. There's no Sephora here, but I feel like it's coming. I don't know why. Like, I feel like Sephora should exist here. There's no Victoria's Secret here, and I really miss it. I miss awesome, sexy bras that fit really well, and like cute panties, and their semi-annual sale. I miss giant ass grocery stores. There are lots of grocery stores here in Japan, but everything is just small, and that's fine, but I miss walking into like a 2-story huge grocery store. And I also miss having people bag my groceries for me. I know that's so silly, and sometimes they didn't even do a good job, but it did make me feel like a queen. Everybody bags their own groceries here, and everybody brings their own eco bag. So, wait, what are they called in English? What are they called? Non-disposable bags. What are they called? Fuck. Oh my God, forgetting English! I miss petting zoos and farmers markets. We used to go to a lot of them in LA, and there are a lot of like locally grown vegetable shops around here, and that's fine, and they're delicious and it's great. But farmers markets were really, really fun. It was like an event, a Sunday event. Tito's vodka. This probably should have been among the food stuff, but there's no Tito's vodka here. I really miss Russian delis. So I grew up in Fair Lawn, New Jersey, and they have a really high Russian Jewish population, so there were lots of Russian delis, and we'd always get Estonskaya kilbasa, which is Estonian kielbasa. It's so fatty and delicious. I miss it so much. I miss American magazines. Japanese magazines are cool and they're thick and filled with a lot of information, but they're weirdly daunting. They don't feel very fun and casual. I miss just being able to like flip through magazines. Speaking of missing American magazines, I miss American books, so therefore I miss Barnes & Noble. Another weird one, but I really miss composition notebooks. They have amazing stationery here, and their notebooks are fine, but there's something about composition notebooks. Maybe it's because I use them so often during school, but yeah, why do I miss that? I really miss CVS. Love CVS. This one might surprise you, but I miss good, free, standard Wi-Fi. Not sure why Japan is behind on this, but free public Wi-Fi is really crappy. And they ask you to register, and you have to put in a lot of personal information. Something I really miss are state fairs, which are very American. I would say the equivalent would be our summer festivals, which are phenomenal in their own way. But I do miss big state fairs. Public parks with basketball courts in them. I don't quite know why, but all the parks around here are specifically for like very young children, and I haven't seen a basketball court outside ever here. Not one. I really miss Best Buy and Fry's. We obviously have electronic stores, like we have a Big Camera and a Nojima, but they're not the same. And I also just really miss walking into a random Fry's and being astounded by their theme. All of the stores are themed differently. Like the one near work was Alice in Wonderland themed, and there's another one that's like Alien Invasion Roswell themed. So bizarre. Obviously, I miss In-N-Out Burger, animal style fries. I don't know why this wasn't among all the food stuff, but yeah. Speaking of In-N-Out Burger, I miss being able to get unlimited ketchup packets. They don't do that here. There's no such thing as like packaged condiments that you could just grab and take. You have to ask for them, and they give you like one measly little ketchup packet for your whole XXL size of fries. I really actually miss football season, mainly because Mike loves football and he's always so excited when it's football season, so I miss like sharing that with him. Speaking of football season, I miss Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is so specific and special in the US, and that leads me to missing Christmas in the US. Christmas in Japan is very fun, but it's like a romantic holiday here. It's not so much like a family holiday, so I miss that like big family gathering aspect of an American Christmas. And last but not least, I miss Trader Joe's, but not their parking lots. Oh, all right, that is it. I'm sorry I made you join me on that journey. There's actually a lot more, but I would say these are solidly the top 100 things I miss the most. Let me know in the comments if you are also living outside the US and you miss anything in particular. Let's commiserate together. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video. And check out Surfshark with my link below and use my promo code Reina Scully to get 85% off and 3 extra months for free. And that is it. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Sonja matta ne!